Hey guys, what's going on? Sincere here with whoissincere.com, the All Rights Matter show, All Rights Matter TV on YouTube. Uh, Listen guys, also follow me on Steemit and also DTube. Links are in the description box below. Listen guys, I'm just sitting here thinking, it's really sad, the amount of people who have been arrested in the United States of America for marijuana. Um, I don't like to call it marijuana, I call it weed. I am uh I'm a super advocate for the legalization of weed, um, for all purposes, for recreational use, and I don't believe that it should be taxed. Um, I don't believe that should be the reason for legalizing weed. Not at all. Um, I'm a little bit upset though. I think that's the best way to explain it. I'm a little bit upset because I'm sitting here thinking, I just got done watching a young lady speak who was a rape victim. And and her whole process that she went through of just trying to get people to understand what happened to her. And I believe it was by a gentleman at her church. So she had a hard time obviously getting people to understand what happened to her, and eventually, it all just kind of went away. Um, you know, it saddened me to hear that later on she, what got her to get into activism was later on after that situation and dealing with another situation as a child. Um, Later on, she found out that states were throwing away rape kit tests. And, I've heard this before. I've read articles about it before. So this is something that's not new to me, but it just it put things kind of into perspective for me, as far as how women feel in this country. When you have prisons that are overpopulated and prisons that are, I mean, it's just a revolving door, uh, a revolving door of just in and out, in and out, in and out. I think they call it a recidivism rate or something like that. Um, when you have this criminal enterprise of people who are jailing people illegally for things that are not even crimes, like marijuana possession. Um, and let me be clear, the reason why I say these things are not crimes is because there is no victim. In order to have a crime, you need a victim, okay? And if you are possessing marijuana, you're not a victim. You willfully want to possess the marijuana that you possess. It is a plant that grows in the earth. And if you decide that you want to possess it, you have not victimized yourself in any kind of way. And you own your own body, spirit, and soul. You and God. That's a relationship between you and God, not you and the government. So for anyone to tell you what you can do with your body is ridiculous, and to tell you that if you do something with your body that they don't agree with, that they can come to crack your skull, shoot you, or kill you, that's ridiculous. So these things are not crimes, but people are being kidnapped and thrown in cages every day for simple marijuana possession. That in itself should be illegal, but the people who get to write the laws have reversed them onto the people, and a plant that's good for you has been demonized as bad because it threatens big pharma and alcohol sales, and therefore you must go to jail if you are a champion of that plant. So listening to that young lady just really got me doing a lot of thinking, and let's go to the opera. And it let me know that we're literally sitting here ignoring our women. And guys, you have to be a part of this conversation too. Why are we allowing hospitals and police departments to throw away rape kits. Why are we allowing this? And why isn't there more of a why is there not legislative action against this? Why are the police departments not being investigated for how they're spending their funds, that they're allowing this many rape kits to grow to this kind of a level that they feel like they can't do them all and they have to throw them out? A rape kit backlog. You know what there's not a backlog of? A marijuana offender backlog. There's no backlog of that. That's immediately throw you in jail, let you pay a little bit of money to bail out, bring you to court for the next few months a few different times. The public defender will get some money. The judge will get some money out of you. You'll do some time. The taxpayers will get some money. And then about 3 months later, once they catch you again with a little bit of weed, you'll go through it all over again. So they have no problem staffing the courthouse for those operations and paying all those salaries to continue all those operations, and using police officers to terrorize marijuana users instead of actually find people who are out here raping women and children. Think about that. Your tax dollars are being spent to criminalize, to feed, and to house marijuana users, while rapists are getting away with it simply because police departments and hospitals have decided to throw out rape kits. Are you understanding what I'm saying here? Does this make any kind of sense? What is the efficacy of that? That's horrible. That helps no one. We're destroying our families with a constant revolving door of incarceration, while we're allowing rapists to continue racking up the numbers on their victims. And we're not outraged about how our tax dollars are being spent. This is why I'm advocating for such strong reform within this government, such strong change within this government, because our tax dollars are being misrepresented. They're being misrepresented. Okay? We're talking about thousands and thousands and thousands of rape kits get thrown out every year by cities all across the United States. Okay? You know, it's disheartening to think about how many people's lives have been destroyed over marijuana, while rapists get to walk the streets free, without worry, with impunity. I want you to think of that the next time you're voting. Marijuana arrests outnumber those for violent crimes. Now, we have a few major success stories in the United States of marijuana legalization, but arguably, or possibly not arguably, two of the most famous success stories are those of California and Colorado. Everything the pundits said was going to happen didn't happen. The kids didn't turn into zombies. There's been no rise in teens smoking marijuana, in delinquency of minors. There's been no rise in highway fatalities. Um, but I tell you what, there has been a rise in revenue. Revenue to supply help for infrastructure, revenue to supply help for education systems, and wherever else tax dollars are needed. I'm good with just the education system. So, with that being said, we have two wonderful examples within our borders of this nation who are thriving off of the legalization of marijuana, while we have other states that make their populace suffer through criminalization. How can these states be equal? How can the United States be considered a place that's fair? There's nothing fair about that. People can argue and say, well, that's states' rights. That may be the case. But if legislatively, if if that's how a politician is supposed to think, then legislatively speaking, they will look at the policies of another state and say, hey, you know what? This looks like a good idea. Look at the revenue that's being made over here. The amount of revenue created is astronomical. The amount of problems created is next to none. Maybe I'll implement this within my state. But you don't get that from these politicians because they're making the quick buck off of the prison industrial complex. And while they're making that quick buck off of the prison industrial complex by demonizing those who would rather enjoy a plant than alcohol or pills, you have women who are just being thrown on the back burner. Look at this. City police in North Carolina destroyed rape kits in more than 1,000 cases. Lord. How the U.S. ended up with 400,000 untested rape kits. And that was in 2014. Okay? So, the next time a politician talks to you about getting tough on crime, ask them what their plans are to do with the rape kits. How many more detectives are they going to hire to deal with the problem that's hiding in plain sight? We don't need more people locked up for victimless crimes, quote unquote crimes. We don't need anyone locked up for victimless crimes. If you are not harming or hurting another human being, there is no reason that you belong behind bars. No reason. Jail is a place for people who harm and hurt other people. Not a place for people who simply can't afford to pay a traffic fine, or they get off from a long, hard day of work and they want to smoke a couple joints. It's not a place for people like that. People who want to bring bodily harm and injury and terror to other folks' lives through physical means are people that absolutely belong behind bars. Through physical means and also through threats, through obvious threats. But instead, we're seeing a different culture start to emerge in this country. And I don't know if you can say start to emerge. I don't know if that's fair. I think you could say we're seeing it start to be called out a lot more in this information age that we live in. But this culture of Let's lock up the people who smoke weed in low income neighborhoods because they don't do it in high income neighborhoods. Okay, let's lock up those in low income neighborhoods who smoke weed, but all the women that come in to get, you know, to get a rape kit done for being raped, let's save the results, not investigate the cases, and then throw them out. And that's what your tax dollars are being paid for. You think these people are here to protect and serve and to help your, you know, help your wives and your children? Anything to get a paycheck to save face for the camera. But behind closed doors, these are the cold, callous, heartless decisions that are being made as they continue to criminalize and brutalize those who partake in marijuana. When if we had to do a case study, we have two 100% completely accurate case studies that strongly suggest that legalizing marijuana causes absolutely no societal unrest. So think about that the next time you vote. Think about that the next time you pump gas and you're being charged 25, 35 plus cents per gallon. Per gallon. And then look at all the cars around you who are pumping gas and think about how they're all being charged 35 cents per gallon. And then I want you to think about when you go grocery shopping, how much tax is on the end of that bill? When your property tax comes in the mail, how much are you paying in that annually? Okay? So think about all of these taxes that you're paying. And then I want you to think about those rape kits that are laying in the bottom of the trash can. Think about that. And then think about your husbands who have helped to build a strong, stable family, who provide love and security and protection for the family, how they are snatched away from their homes and criminalized for partaking in a plant that harms no one. Think about that. Where your tax dollars are robbed from your paycheck as you work long, hard hours. And it goes towards making sure that there's plenty of correction officers, that there's more prisons being built, and to house people who are not criminals, but they're just your neighbors, your regular neighbors. But your working tax dollars go towards that. Sometimes for some of you who make good money, to the tune of hundreds of dollars a week out of your check. Think about what you're paying for. I want you to think about that, and I don't want you to forget these headlines. How the U.S. ended up with 400,000 untested rape kits. How they get thrown out. Fayetteville, North Carolina police throw out 333 rape kits to make room for other evidence. It was in the way. They didn't go get a storage facility or rent out new space or say, hey, we need to put that other evidence somewhere else. No, they threw them out. Think about that while you're spending your tax money out of your check, while you're pumping your gas into your car. Think about all of the taxes that you pay every year. Then think about these rape kits going directly in the trash. So I had an epiphany tonight, just, hearing this speech a little bit earlier, and I wanted to share this with you guys and just give you a talk about how I feel about our corrupt police system here in America, and the fact that we are extorted through taxes and our money is taken from us to pay for a criminal organization who enforces the opinions of people who do not represent our beliefs or what we want as a society. And then they just misuse our money however they want, and then don't investigate the crimes that mean the most to us. If we had to do a poll, which I may just do, if we had to do a poll, what means more to American families? To make sure that we arrest marijuana users or to make sure that we arrest rapists? I wonder how that poll would go. As a matter of fact, I wonder how you think and feel about that. In this country, are we more concerned with arresting? This is going to tell us whether our politicians and whether our law enforcement officers are doing the bidding of the people or they're doing the bidding of the corporate establishment. So let's do the poll and give me your opinion in the comments below. Are law is the American citizen more concerned with arresting marijuana users, or is the American citizen more concerned with arresting rapists? Leave your comments below. Let's just kind of take a rough kind of poll of just the people that view this video and how they feel about it. I'm interested to know, what people think, but I believe I know how this is going to go. So think about how your tax dollars are being spent before you vote. That helps you to promote the issues that are important to you when you want to get involved politically speaking. I don't have much faith in this political system, but if we're going to change it, we have to change the way we approach it and the way that we look at it. And this is a good way of looking at it objectively, how your tax dollars are being spent to incarcerate, people that smoke a couple joints instead of being spent to incarcerate people who steal, who physically harm and steal the dignity, pride, and respect of a person, possibly for a lifetime. So, a lot of thoughts to be had about this situation. If you like what I had to say in this video, I know it's not fancy and I don't have a whole bunch of graphics and all I'm doing is switching between a couple screens, but if you like this video and like what I'm talking about and you understand the logic of where I'm coming from, all I would ask for you to do is to share this. Just share it with somebody. Am I long-winded? Yeah, I'm a little bit long-winded, but that's my style. I like to talk, and I like to get all of my thoughts off my chest when I do a video and feel like I'm done with it. So now you know exactly how I feel. That's how sincere feels. Those are my sincere feelings. So we need to change the policies and the laws in this country regarding how police are allowed to do their job. Community policing is needed. It's needed now. And community oversight of the police is needed immediately. Okay? We need to do that with getting money out of politics as well. A driving factor behind some of these law enforcement agencies. But yeah, so that's it, guys. I'm interested in knowing how you feel on this poll here. We're going to do a little rough poll in the comment section. Just drop me your feelings. Tell me how you feel. Should we have, are you more concerned about people being arrested for smoking marijuana? Or are you more concerned that we should arrest people who are rapists? So drop a comment below. Make sure you go down to the description box below. Download the free app. That'll be a good way to keep up with any video uploads that I have right now and any new articles that I'll be coming out with. I'll be redoing the app here shortly, so I'll send out an update through the app, through a push notification to let you know when the new update is available on the app. So make sure you download the app below. Also, guys, if you want to support this channel, my donations box is below. $1, $2, $5, $10, whatever. If you want to buy me a sandwich, buy me a lunch, that's cool. It all helps out. So if you want to donate, feel free to donate below. Also, if you want to help your family out, there's a company that I absolutely enjoy. I use their services. I pay my $20 a month every month proudly, and I am 100% secure when I'm on the road anywhere in the United States of America. I do not have to worry. That's mcafamilyfirst.com. That's in the box below. Go ahead and get your family protected. I believe it's $39.95 to start today. Yeah, $39.95 to start today, and $19.95 a month for every month thereafter. The $39.95 covers your first and last month. So try to go ahead and get that done immediately. You definitely want that to happen. So you need that for your family. Trust me, I've used it twice now. I'll talk about that in another video though, but I've used the services twice, and it roughly would have cost me about $300 to $400. And only because I was paying my $20 a month, I avoided paying those fees pretty much, probably about 150 one time, and maybe at about 200 or a little bit more another time. So I'm telling you guys, mcafamilyfirst.com, it could save your life. Yeah, guys, that's all I have for you. I appreciate you supporting this channel. Like, share, subscribe, get the word out there. Let people know, there's still some sensible people out here that are talking, from an independent kind of neutral standpoint. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a progressive. I'm not a libertarian. I'm just independent. I have my own views. I have my own beliefs. I take a little bit from each party, but I don't agree with money influencing those decisions. But we all need money to eat. But our government officials are not in a position to accept corporate money when they're supposed to be listening to us. And that's why we pay our taxes, so that they can have a salary. So at the end of the day, I'm not for greed. Not at all. I'm for sharing resources and sharing wealth as well. And I hope a lot of you out there feel the same way. I don't think we should have people who don't pay a fair living wage and they get to make all the money and have hundreds of, just hundreds of millions of dollars, or even to the tunes of tens of billions of dollars. So while their workers work for minimum wage or near minimum wage. So, these are just some of the things I stand for, guys. And if you stand for the same things and you enjoy what I'm saying, you know, like my channel, or subscribe to my channel, like this video, share it out, leave me some love below, comment. I try to make sure I listen to all the comments and talk to you guys. And I'm going to be doing a lot of videos in 2018. So get ready for the ride. I'm back. Stay alert, stay alive.